Hello people, welcome to my channel. Sorry, it's been a couple of months on it, but I'm back and I will try and be consistent and try and do a video at least every 2 weeks, if not one a week, but because I've got a few different channels. I've got a fashion channel and stuff. I've also got a Substack, I've got a WordPress, and also I've got a TikTok, so obviously all these things, it's a lot to do. Um, anyway, so Fender. So Fender have won a court battle over the Stratocaster. Yeah. Now I do have, the copies of the Stratocaster. The first Stratocaster guitar I bought was antique from PMT, that music store that um um went into administration last year. Um, Not a great guitar, but it was what I could afford. To tell you the truth, in hindsight, I probably should have just bought the the squirrel, the Fender squirrel. Yeah. Because I don't like my white Stratocaster pickups. I like the body because it's lightweight, and I've got like back issues because of my wound issues. So I've got chronic back pain, so I need a really lightweight guitar. Um, but the antique, I don't like the PMT Strat, so I've changed the pickups on it. And that was the white one with the pink pickup um, covers that you'll see on my other video. But yeah, so I do have a squirrel, a Fender squirrel, Stratocaster HSS. Love it. The Amazon edition was 130. I've resprayed it with Montana spray paint, Madrid red, beautiful. I love the sound of the pickups. I feel no need to change the pickups on the squirrel. Every squirrel I've got the squirrel Mustang, the twin humbuckers. Love that one, and I love the squirrel Stratocaster HSS. Never have, even in the lower end Fender squirrel guitar strats guitars, I never feel the need to change the pickups. Do you know what I mean? Like I had a Harley Benton, like I'm gonna have to. I'll tell you the Harley Benton. Anyway, it was beautiful. It looked beautiful. Hated the pickups. It sounded dead, like tingy, and like it sounded like tin. Hated it. Eventually, just sold it to Cash Generator. Wish I never bought it. I should have just bought them. The Squirrel Red Mustang. Honestly, really didn't like that one. Harley Benton. I have a Gear for Music Strat, black Strat, love it. Cost me 50 quid. Only has a tone and a volume, love it. Lightweight, love the sound of the pickups, great. Love that one. So there's a lot of, so what I'm basically getting to, there's a lot of good Strat copies, Fender Strat copies from cheaper brands that sound really great and great value for money and stuff. Now I forgot, I've also got the rented squirrel, the classic 60s vibe. Too heavy. I rarely ever play it because it's heavy on my back. It's but the tuners, the guitar pickups are beautiful. They sound beautiful. Love it. If I didn't have back problems, I'd probably play it more. But great guitar, really, really great guitar. So when you're buying Fender and Fender Squirrel, I've not had any problems with any of their guitars. I would really recommend, if you can afford it, buy them because they're decent. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that there's not other good brands, but I've never had to feel the need to change the pickups on a Squirrel Fender, like that Harley Benton. Anyway, so there's been news. Basically, Fender have sued a Chinese manufacturer, so I'm going to be reading it from the press release. So it basically says, I'm going to read it from their website. It basically says, Fender wins a landmark court ruling protecting the iconic Stratocaster body design. Dusseldorf, Germany, March 9, 2026. Fender Musical Instrument Corporation have secured a significant legal victory following the ruling by the Regional Court of Dusseldorf that established a broad legal protection for Fender's iconic Strata guitar body, designed under German and European copyright law. Now, the thing is, the UK left the European Union, so this doesn't apply to us, even though I've seen a lot of different British music bloggers on YouTube not mention this. Do you know what I mean? I can understand the people from the Republic of Ireland. Sorry, I've got sinus issues as normal. So my nose is just running like that. Anyway, but they've not mentioned this. The people in the Republic of Ireland mention it because it will affect them, but it's not going to affect us because we left the European Union. So basically it says the decision creates an enforceable right against any guitar using the Stratocaster body shape that are manufactured, sold, or distributed in Germany or other European, the European Union, regardless of where those guitars are produced, and reinforces Fender's ability to protect its design in a global commerce. No, it doesn't, because let me explain the countries that are not. Switzerland's not in the European Union. It's in the European Common Market. There's different tiers to that what make the European Union, but Switzerland isn't in the European Union. Neither is Norway. Neither is United Kingdom. So there's countries in Europe that are not actually in the European Union. So this doesn't affect Norway, Switzerland, or United Kingdom because they're not in the European Union. Yeah. And obviously it doesn't affect Russia. Russia is actually in Europe for people who don't seem to know. The Ukraine is not in the European Union either. I'm trying to think of what country. In fact, let me bring a list of the countries that are in Europe that are not in the European Union. European countries not in the European Union. Let me say. So, let's see. Oh, Iceland's not in the European Union. Liechtenstein's not in the European Union. Serbia, Albania, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Kosovo, Montenegro, Northern Macedonia, they're not in the European Union. Armenia, Azerbaijan, Moldova, Belarus, Russia, Vatican City, Monaco, Andorra. Those are not in the European Union. So there's still a considerable amount of the Europe that you can still sell the Stratocaster design. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it says the ones that the European Free Trade Association or the European Common Market, Iceland's in it. Liechtenstein, Norway, Switzerland allowed access to the single market, but they're not part of the European Union, so this ruling doesn't count. Yeah, so I've not seen anybody mention that. But yeah, but it will, for the people that are in the European Union, it is going to change what they can have access to, depending on whether Fender, how they intend to enforce it. Do you know what I mean? Now let me see. Oh, right. So there's quite a big paragraph. It's let's see how to say this word. This Chinese word. Google. Let's go to Google Translate. One moment. You know, me and Chinese. I'm not. Like, as you know, I like to build guitars or play around. I'm building everything. Like, I'm always messing about with something. And that's just how I am. I like sewing and like, all creative things. And I could never find a guitar that is the right shade of pink for me. And I need to like, I'm going to buy the Mustang neck. Um, I need it shortened. The Strat nut is too long for me. It's hard to get because men's fingers can be quite thick. So on a woman, the Strat was created by a man for a man's fingers. Do you know what I mean? So I just wish they shortened the freaking neck. Do you know what I mean? Um,
You woo.
So it says, so Fender. So the case involves electric guitars offered by Yuwu Philharmonica Musical Instruments, based in China, a seller of electrical guitars on a global online platform, AliExpress, including for shipping into Germany. Oh, so I did not know. I did not like. But to tell you, I have seen those guitars on AliExpress, but I did not know they were that good because I don't really ever see anyone really reviewing them on AliExpress. So what I would say, if you're in the European Union, this is what I don't understand because I've just went and bought a Paisley, a Paisley Strat. I bought a Paisley Strat left-handed, because my dad, even though my dad I've never seen my dad go to church when he was alive. Um, I was born left-handed, but my dad forced me to learn to use my right hand because he said he thought that if you were left-handed, it was the work of the devil, even though he never actually went to church. So, I'm somewhat ambidextric, or where I can use both hands, but obviously my right hand is stronger because I was forced to use it. But I'm trying to train my left hand, um, to because I'm really right dominated, right brain dominated. So the right brain controls the left side of the body, and the left side of the body. The left brain controls the right side. The brain is divided into two hemispheres, left and right. Yeah. So, um, and also they say if you use both hands and it balances out your hemispheres. Do you know what I mean? So there's benefits to that, and especially as I'm learning to drum, I'm noticing that this left hand is weak. Do you know what I mean? It's harder, so that's why I'm trying to like learn how to pick things up. Learning to write with my left hand again. It's challenging. I mean, I can write with my left hand, but obviously not as good with my right hand. Anyway, so that's like, I don't know how I got into that chance. So anyway, yes. So basically, so that's why I got a left-handed Strat, because it's going to help strengthen my left hand and stuff and help with playing drums. So I would assume these guitars on AliExpress must be really good because Fender wouldn't have sued them. Do you know what I mean? Because there are people doing copies, reviewing copies on YouTube, aren't there? So God, they must have got, they must have clocked. When people were going on, oh, how cheap it is. I mean, I seen that like I really like that Taylor Swift's Epiphone guitar. The pink one and the blue one, but you can get it for like £400. I think it's about £400 on AliExpress, and it's about 1,100 if you get it from Gibson. Do you know what I mean? So, that's why people are like, you can get half price. Do you know what I mean? And you find out that they're very well made. So, maybe I need to go and get that one before it becomes difficult, before Gibson decide to sue AliExpress. It says the ruling aligns with the growing model of the EU and the German case law, recognizing the iconic product design and the benefit for full copyright protection beyond traditional design rights. Now, some people are saying it doesn't really make sense because why didn't they do this before? Do you know what I mean? When Leo Fender, who designed the Strat, was alive. I mean, he died in 1991, and he was not actually, he was trained as an accountant, and his, I think it was his father or father-in-law, his father or stepfather, someone like that, taught him how to fix radios, and that's how he learned how to, electrics. That's how he started fixing electronics, amplifiers from musicians, and repairing radios, and then eventually designing an electric guitar for the musicians that were coming for him to fix the amplifier. But it's funny how he didn't manage to do that. But I think it's just too late. You know, you can't come years later. Like, the Strat's been around, has it been 40 or 40, 50 years, and now you want to copyright it? Oh no, not trademark it. Yeah, it's a trademark ruling, isn't it? So I'm just reading enforcement. Yeah, no, it's a copyright ruling. Do you know what I mean? So it'd be interesting to see how people get around it. So it says it says, oh shit, it says any future violations may result in fines up to 250,000 per infringement, or up to 6 months imprisonment if the fines cannot be enforced, subject to statutory limitations. Fenders emphasise the ruling does not restrict innovation or healthy competition within the guitar industry, but rather that it represents target enforcement against clear cases of infringement, while continue to support originality and new designs and creative process. I don't know if that's why in Bach's music it's gone down. I don't know if, because I've noticed certain guitars from the Phaser brand, which is the Bach's music brand, have gone down. But yeah, so Bach's music, for people who don't know, it's a Dutch brand. So, but obviously they had headquarters in the UK as well. I don't know how. What are the companies having to do that are in the European Union? Are they going to have to sell off everything? Are they allowed to do that now? Are they able to sell off, whatchamacallit, back stock? Now, because it says AliExpress. So are they only going after AliExpress? Because it says here they were suing UN Philharmonica Musical Instruments on AliExpress. But where does it say, other companies? Is it all about AliExpress? So if you've heard about this, just let me know. But I've not seen, where does it say that the other companies can't sell the Strat copies? It just says, sorry, I'm just reading it. You're gonna get a big shot of my face, but, and I'm reading it from Fender's press release on the actual website. So it basically says UN Philharmonica Music Company it's only against, from what I'm reading of it and my understanding, it's only from this place. They're basically from this UN Philharmonica Musical Company. It's not talking about anybody else that's copying the Strat. So that's another thing that people have said. Like, when I've read it on other things, no one's mentioned that either. Bloody hell. Do you know what I mean? So this AliExpress company, UN Philharmonica Musical called, they must have been selling shed loads, really. They must have really been selling shed loads, because people have been doing copies of the Strat for a long time. So, do you know what I mean? And it doesn't mention any other company. All it says, if they manufacture, offering or distribute guitars featuring the Stratocaster body in Germany and the EU, they will result in fines or prison in being in prison. So yeah, so also Bax Music don't have to worry, and all those other companies don't have to worry from what I'm understanding of what's being written. Yeah, anyway, give me your thoughts and stuff, and laters.